Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're this Tuesday morning. Got a big show lined up, but first our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. We're looking at a 20-degree difference, 82 of high and 62 of low. What's fascinating, the water temperature is going down to 77 degrees, and it's just right on time, right on cue. And we're going to get a red tide report later, but it's really dropped. We predicted it all along. It's going to be this week. It's going to start dropping, so here it is. Let's take a look at our river reading. New sponsor on river reading is going to be Watson's Marina and Dry Storage. Our river reading on Apalachicola, Bluntstown, is a 4.5, and it's falling just a little bit. And it's going to be in good shape in a couple of days. And then the Choctawhatchee at Caryville is a 6.3, and it's falling. It really got up there high. So appreciate the new sponsors here on our river readings. Watson Marina and Dry Storage right there in Watson Bayou. We'll talk about them more later as the month progresses. So let's take a look now at our tide chart brought to us, of course, by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. A high tide this morning at 4:51. Now today's October the 6th. We've got a good tide today. We just finished a high tide, so it's falling out now. It's going to be falling out to about 3:45 this afternoon. And now look like this weekend, though, we've got some getting back in those neat tides. All right, the marine forecast will be north-northeast at about 6 to 10. That takes care of our marine weather. We'll go ahead and take a break and be right back. All right, welcome back, folks. Glad you're with us this morning. Listen, we're going to get a live pier report from Steve out here at the City Pier. And good morning, Steve.
Morning, how are you?
We're doing well, bud. I appreciate this report. Tell us what's going on out there.
They're catching the kings and Spanish are all up and down the pier, and there's a bunch of pompano and a bunch of keeper pompano, too.
All right.
Keeper reds caught yesterday.
Well, that's what we've been wanting to hear. Those pompanos starting to come in now, right?
Oh, yeah. We lost one. One boy lost one yesterday. It looked like he was about 3.5 pounds.
Woo!
Yeah, he was a huge one.
Well, I hate to tell my students about today because all of them will be playing hooky and headed out there, but that's good. Okay, one more question. How's the red tide out there now?
It's gone.
It's gone.
It left out of here Friday afternoon.
Very good.
Good.
I'd heard that from another report too, so that's good to hear. Well, Steve, listen, we appreciate that report, buddy.
All right, y'all have a good day.
Thank you, man.
All right, bye.
All right, that is good news, really good news all over. I'd heard that report that red tide had gotten out of there, had been in there 3 or 4 days, and also I'd heard of 1 or 2 pompano being caught, but you just heard it there fresh right there. So this past weekend they caught some nice pompano. So let's go ahead and move on now. Red grouper, keep in mind now, red grouper season will be closing. The FWC or NOAA has contacted FWC and told them that we've reached our quota of 1,700,000 pounds of red grouper. So they're going to close it on October the 8th. That's a couple of days from now. In fact, October the 7th, tomorrow, will be the last day to fish for red grouper. We've reached our quota, and they're getting better and better each year on actually documenting how many pounds and pounds of fish have been brought in. So red grouper season is closing. So the red tide, I want to get about that red tide now while we're talking about it. I've checked on it over the weekend. I checked on it yesterday a little bit. What I was checking on was the bay situation here in St. Andrew Bay System. It's really, I'm going to show you the chart a little bit later, but it's not, first of all, I live up on North Bay, and I've searched all over there, Lynn Haven Bridge, and I've seen no dead fish anywhere. All right, with that being said, one of our local captains in St. Andrews last week loaded up his bait fish, and they died right there at St. Andrews. But I went by Saturday afternoon and checked with, had a big redfish tournament. And by the way, that redfish tournament, first place, and it was a 2-day tournament, with first place was over like 26 pounds. That's some really good fishing, and they fish hard. But I went down to the boat ramp, and some of them were coming in. I just talked to them. I didn't take my camera or anything. I just wanted to talk and see how everything went. They all had a good time, enjoyed it. But the main question was asking them if they saw any red tide, and the fishermen I talked to saw no red tide in our bay system. So that was a good sign. I'm not saying you know, that it's 100% red tide free, but the people I've talked to that have been out there and what I've seen, and people I talked to on the phone and also on social media, has not seen any red tide up in St. Andrew Bay. Now, it's different in other parts of the bay system, but right now it looks pretty good. So keep that in mind over some redfish. Okay, now I wanted to let's switch subject a little bit, because I've been fascinated with this sinking of the ship out there and during the storm. They call it El Faro. And the first thing when I first heard it, you know, they kept it quiet a day or two because I don't think they knew what was going on. And what was going on, that ship got caught in a storm. And the first thing I thought of was a movie, The Perfect Storm. And that's a special movie to me and to us, because in The Perfect Storm, that the boat was built here at Eastern Marine, here locally, so it had local ties. The captain was from Pensacola. I show this video to my students about once a year during like homecoming week when you can't get anything done in the classroom. And it's just I've watched this movie a lot. I read the book. I read Linda Greenlaw's book. She was a captain she was a female captain on the boat that survived, and talked to her back and forth. It's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, The Perfect Storm. And you wouldn't think that in this day and age that would happen. Back then, it sort of caught them off guard. That was in the early 90s. But what happened on this, and you know, we're an outdoor show and all, and it has something to do with being outdoors. Now you're looking at a modern, first of all, a 790-foot ship. That's 2.5 football fields long. That's a nice sized cargo ship. Loaded, might be a little bit top heavy, but of course they have regulations to go by. Now, if you looked at the pictures, but what's fascinated me with it, it just went boom right off the radar screen. And then this EPIRB, which is something we talk about all the time on here as far as safety, that EPIRB sent out one ping, boom, and then it shut down. And you know, and that's why they've had so much trouble. You know, located the debris fields and all, and found all kind of floating stuff. But that first 48 hours are critical, and they just couldn't get a handle on anything. I know the weather was awful. They said, well, I was trying to find a wave size. I heard 60-foot wave. Now I'm not, you know, I won't go on record of saying that. Just some things I tried to do some research on it, but it was in what happened when I saw some interviews. Some of the experts think it probably got turned sideways. And that can happen on a 16-foot boat. You lose power, you're going to get turned sideways. And once you get turned sideways, you know what's going to happen, especially being top heavy. And what I couldn't understand is why they were not able to get those lifeboats, just knock a couple of them loose. And you know, and of course, you know, it's not textbook like you see when you do a drill and all. It's not textbook weather as far as doing it. But you know, they have these suits now. I saw one on TV the other day. They were demonstrating it. You just once you put that suit on, it's insulated, and you're guaranteed to float right side up, okay? The boots are sort of weighted, so it's going to keep you straight up and all. So, you know, all they had to do if they could just get to them. So I think it must have happened really fast. But just when I first saw that, man, I thought about that movie. And I thought about our viewers. Sometimes, you know, we'll get, you know, those boys out this summer going out of West Palm Beach and all. They got caught out there, and they never found them. And the sea, and my bottom line is the sea is nothing to fool around with. They talked to people who had communication with the captain, and the captain makes that call whether or not to go out to sea. Well, in his reports now, it had tropical storm, and it had it headed north. So that, you know, they go through that every summer. See a tropical storm headed north, and it's changed. That's something else I want to pass on to you as an outdoorsman. That weather will change, and they just flat out, they're good, but they just flat out can't predict it. So I didn't want to get on a soapbox. I just want to bring that up to you because it's a fascinating situation, sad tragedy, and probably would have been would not have happened if they hadn't if they'd known it was going to be a Category 4 storm. It really caught a lot of people by surprise, as hurricanes will really do. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take our break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's get in. I just got a few pictures I want to show you. I always keep in mind, I always try to keep a good sense of humor in the classroom, on the show, whatever. I think it's just good for us to laugh. And sometimes it may not be funny to everybody. So this is sort of one of these blonde jokes. And I showed them my kids Friday, and I told them ahead of time, I said, this is from all my beautiful blonde-headed girls here in class. I got them all pumped up, and then I showed this. But it's really, they cracked up and have a good sense of humor on it. So I hope you undertake these with the best intentions. Okay, check this out. This is corn maze for blondes. Okay, now for an 18-year-old kid, this is funny. I don't know how it feels this morning early drinking that cup of coffee, but I got a kick out of it, and I have some wonderful blonde friends. So, okay, now the next one also, I got two fun ones back to back to me. This is a big elk. Okay, he was about 5'7", wearing orange, it smells like beer, and he shot a gun at me, and he's trying to tell the trooper. This is Chris Clark's son fishing the pier, and we just gave you a pier report on what all was going on out there. And this is a 19-inch redfish, perfect size redfish. Michael Clark, not Chris, Michael Clark. Okay. All right, this is something it made a lot of sense to me. I don't know if you can read it. Guns, we defend our president with guns, we defend our congressmen with guns. It goes on and on. We defend celebrities with guns, banks and jewelry stores, factories and courts. But when it comes to our children, there's a sign that says this is a gun-free zone. But to get in trouble, we'll call for somebody with guns. So that's some food for thought there. Okay, this is the latest red tide report. Now, this is very interesting. Ended up Sunday, and they do this report once a week. But I want you to look at all the different colors now up in the Florida Panhandle, our viewing area. We've got all the colors. The chart on the bottom left-hand corner, starting at the green is no red tide, and white is just very low. Yellow is low, orange is medium, and red is high. And we have all those colors here in the Panhandle as of this past week. So really here in Bay County, we have it's called a medium, but it's leaving. And see, this changes every week, and that's why it's so important we get a weekly report. But it's still heavy, according to their reports down in Franklin County, in that area there. And they check it like 4 different places in Franklin and Gulf County, five different places. So that's just report on that. Okay, I got it. This is my babies. Okay. This is Chip and Wendy, my 2 kids. Now, the reason I'm showing this, it was Wendy's birthday last week, had all the family together, and Gail and I were talking, we haven't had a picture of just the 2 of them since I think they were teenagers or something, so we got them to sit down in the corner and take a picture of them. That's my children I'm very proud of and love very much. So that's my babies, and a lot of y'all have your babies. Stolen, a blue Yeti. Can you believe that? Somebody stole this it came out of Springfield, out the back of a truck. $100 reward. It was stolen from Tyler Chismar. I've known that Chismar family for a long time over there. A bunch of them. I've worked with them, good folks, and it makes you sick when somebody steals your ice chest. So anyway, he's got a $100 reward. Now he said he had drag marks on the left-hand bottom, so I could identify and all. But anyway, those Yetis, they're $400 or $500 ice chest. Just hate to see somebody take one from you. And then the last one, a lot of people are doing this. This is Mara Henry Hood. She works at the Panhandle Credit Union. Next time you see her, go in the Panhandle Credit Union and talk to her about you're proud she's practicing for hunting season. She and her husband. And Mara's getting to be an outdoor girl now. But anyway, archery season is here, and a lot of people are practicing for it. Okay. Now, keep in mind too, and we're going to start talking about season and all. Keep in mind too, before you shoot that bow, you really, really need to practice, and all archers know that and are practicing pretty well now. I've got a chance pretty soon to go bow fishing, so I'm gonna start shooting my bow some this week. And I haven't shot it in a while, but I'm gonna pull it out and get a little draw coming. I used to do a lot of archery, but anyway, now let's get ready. A lot of times we will talk about how to do things and all, and how to and tackle tips and different things we do on the show and to make you a better outdoorsman. And one of the interesting things I've always done is tying knots, and I've got a little 3-minute video, and I showed this a couple years ago on how to tie a blood knot. And I think every now and then I like to re-show these how-to things because we get such an influence of new folks coming in, and then in the wintertime we'll get our snowbirds, and even seen it before. We still need to practice it to make sure you got it right. Once you get this right, this to me one of the most valuable knots an outdoorsman can use, this blood knot. So I'm sitting at my tackle table doing it, which is in the corner of my garage. But if I want you to look in the background, I have a 4x8 pegboard, and I let my grandkids paint it. They painted a mural on it of jellyfish and the sea and all kinds of stuff. And I wish I had a chance to show it. I'm gonna take a picture of it and show you too. He's got a lot of stuff hanging on it. But anyway, let's go ahead and run this video, Jeff, how to tie this blood knot. Hi folks, today I'm out of my garage. I'm in my little place I call my tackle corner. I got all my junk here. A lot of times I like to come out here and just piddle around and do stuff. I was thinking, I would like to show y'all how to tie some knots. I'm just going to do one at a time. We're going to start off today on a blood knot. Now I teach knot tying to my outdoor ed class. We spend about three days on a little knot tying unit. And I've learned over the years the best way to teach knot tying is you don't hold it out in front of you and try to teach somebody because everything's reversed. So I'm going to let the camera come in from behind me, and also you don't use monofilament line or braided line in teaching somebody how to tie a knot. over the years I've developed this little lesson plan where I just show them in different colors and all. And I really let the kids teach each other too. So today we're going to talk about a blood knot. That's a very important knot in outdoors. That's when you're tying two lines together. So let's give it a try. I've got these two different colors laying right here on my bench, and what I'm going to do now, the blood knot, hopefully you can see this, and what you want to do is get plenty of it to work with and overlap it like this. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I've got the two lines laying down. I'm going to get up both lines, and I'm going to hold both of them between my thumb and forefinger of my left hand. I'm going to wrap this around 5 times, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to take what I have left, okay, which is called a tag end, that's right there to the right, and bring it right here through this little loop I formed, okay? That's all I'm going to do right there. Now what I'm going to do with this other color line, I'm going to wrap it 5 times. I'm going to switch hands. I'm ambidextrous. 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this little loop I have right here, where I have it through here, okay, I'm going to bring it back through the same way with the lime colored line. Alright, and then I'm going to just grab the ends, both ends I've taken through there, okay, and then just going to pull it. Start tightening it up, okay. You can watch it, it's really cool to watch it tighten up. A lot of times you have to hold the line though so it won't get too, come all the way out. But see, it start tightening up. Okay, so now I'm going to hold it right here. Tighten this in right here. Tighten this in right here. And then it starts pulling together. Okay. And it'll end up just like, look at there. That's a pretty knot in it, okay? That's a blood knot. Now that ain't coming apart, I promise you, okay? Now, I got some scissors over here. I always trim the ends a little bit, okay? And then after you cut it, it's going to end up looking like this right here, okay? Like I said, good and tight and really neat line. And you can just cut up how much tab you want, okay? That's called a blood knot. Welcome back. A lot of y'all know how to tie that blood knot, but if you don't, just practice a couple times. That is a strong knot. They've got some new knots coming out now. I haven't mastered those. I'm satisfied with my use of fishing using a blood knot, so I'll probably stick with that. Plus, they got that new little machine that sort of melts everything together, and it's coming out. I showed it to you when I went to the tackle show down there. But first, let's go over our fishing game time brought to us by Mark Cowart. Counts Real Estate. Mark and Michael finished up in the top 10 again this past weekend in that Emerald Coast in the final tournament they had. So they did well this year. Congratulations, Mark and Michael. Our times today, we're looking at 7:58. Let's just say from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock this morning, and this evening from 8:21 to 10:21. And of course, I always think about these night times. I always think about using the flounder gig and all this time of year and lights and all. And that's one thing. The red tide just really does not affect the flounder. You just don't see a lot of washed up flounder during the red tide. And really, this has been a very light outbreak of it up in this area, I think. Now, down in Apalachicola and all, it looks a little bit stronger. But even there, I don't think you're going to see a lot of bottom feeding fish like the flounder and all that ambushes its prey. That red tide just stays up in that water column. Don't forget tomorrow, the ownerfinancefloridaland.com. They're having that absolute auction. I can promise you that anytime you see the word absolute auction, land or boats or whatever, you're going to get some good buys. I've been to them before. I've been fascinated. A lot of times I haven't been able to buy them. But anyway, you go to online, www.ownerfinancefloridaland.com. That's all one word, ownerfinancefloridaland.com. It's going to start at 11 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. That's 10 o'clock our time here local. And bidding will be available on phone, or you can do it online or in person in Tallahassee, and that's going to be interesting. So y'all let me know, Alan. Y'all let me know how everything goes on that and what kind of bargains people got. That's fascinating to me. Now I wanted the tackle box. I started when I'm trying to name this show. One of the names came up with the tackle box, but it was sort of just too general and all, and I wanted something more local. But anyway, the tackle box is fascinating, and we've all have them. more than one, but I'm going to show you. I'm just going to hold. I brought some of mine up here. This is what I call the mothership. Okay, I'm just going to show you right here. This is the mothership. And this thing's heavy. I don't know what I got in there. That's my mothership, and I sort of take like little boats from it and all. This is like one of my little tackle boxes here. And you know, people downsize. Lord, I couldn't fish with all the stuff in here. But anyway, on this, I'm just going to share some things in my tackle box that I have, and people are always asking me what I fish with and what I like to do and all. First of all, I'd like to get more time to fish, which is going to be coming as soon as I retire. But I'm just going to show you, pull out some. I like this. First of all, I like this tackle box. It's lightweight. It's got a strap on it, and when you're toting, you know, with the strapping on, when you're toting your stuff around, you can put 2 or 3 rods in your hands, put that on your shoulder. So I like this style. Lightweight, it's a soft box, what they call. So one of the first thing on these side pockets, the first thing I pulled out, these are fish bites. We've talked about them before. These are the sand flea flavor fish bites. And in fact, this weekend I hope to get to go pompano fishing. If I don't get to go, I'll go this weekend. I'm going next weekend. But fish bites, you can just stick stuff with a plastic bag and all. You sort of stick in these little side pockets. Got all kind of course, the big thing on fishing tackle boxes are the little side pockets, and I always keep some kind of a towel or something in here. I haven't rehearsed this. I'm just going through here. I don't even know what I got in some of these things. And on another side pocket over here, I got different fishing line, different weights and everything. So you know, compartmentalized. We did that as a kid. And up top here, I got different size hooks and everything. I don't know if you can see that. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna run out of time. I'm gonna tomorrow, or when I get some time, I'm gonna go through these trays one at a time, and then we'll just make this a week-long series. And I'm gonna go to the mothership too, and just show you some things I pulled out of there and used. But it's fascinating. I love tackle boxes. I think I got like 27 tackle boxes at home. Some of these are antique. A lot of these are antique with antique fishing tackle. But anyway, let's wrap things up. Hope you enjoyed today's show and really enjoyed bringing it to you. I appreciate the feedback. And you make sure today sometime you do something good for your fellow man. You have a great day, enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.